Hello! Welcome back to Let's Play Monkey Island. This is your Captain Rocket Baby Dolls, and this episode will be all its focus will be on the sword fighting quest. And you'll see why in just a moment.
Captain Smirk's Big Body Pirate Gym. Prices: sword training, 30 pieces of weight. Cannon firing, 160 pieces of weight. Balls extra. Grappling hook, 130 pieces of weight. Hook extra.
So first, we need to learn how to sword fight.
I think I'll knock. It'd only be polite.
What do you want, you wimpy little spineless maggot?
Could you please put out that cigar? It's not good for your health and it smells terrible.
Sure, I'd love to put it out. In your face.
Maybe I'll just leave instead.
Good idea. What do you want?
Okay, let's cut straight to it.
Could you train me to be better than the swordmaster?
Better than the swordmaster? You? You could never be half the sword fighter Carla is. Even with hours of hard work and sweat and blood. I remember fighting side by side with Carla at Port Royal. The local constabulary had us cornered. It looked like we were done for, but then she said... But I digress. You just don't have what it takes.
I do so have what it takes.
You do not.
I do so.
You do not.
I do so.
I like your spirit. I'll do what I can. Of course, it'll cost you. What do you got?
Well, I've got 30 pieces of 8.
Say no more, say no more. Let's see your sword.
Okay, check it out.
Yes, this is a nice one. Let's get to it. Okay, you maggot. Why don't you whip that sword out and let's see what you can do with it. Boy, you fight like a dairy farmer. I usually don't waste my time with vermin like yourself. But seeing as this LeChuck thing has put a cramp on business, I got no choice. I need the money. Yes, I can see this is gonna take some special measures. Just want you to know, I don't do this with everyone. It's only because I feel that special student-mentor pieces of 8 bonding that I'm going to these lengths. I'm gonna put you up against the machine.
Machine? Is this gonna hurt? Yikes!
Come at me. Don't be afraid, you won't hurt me. Advance, thrust, recover, parry, riposte. Watch your footwork. Distance, distance! Use your forte against the foible. No! Beat first, then lunge.
Hours later.
You're starting to get the hang of it.
More hours later.
Not bad. You've got good form. Now I'm gonna let you in on the true secret of sword fighting. Sword fighting is kinda like making love. It's not always what you do, but what you say. Any fool pirate can swing a sharp piece of metal around and hope to cut something. But the pros, they know just when to cut their opponent with an insult. One that catches them off guard. You see, kid, your wit's gotta be twice as sharp as your sword. Let's try a couple of insults out, shall we? Okay, imagine this. We're fighting up a storm. Just like Carla and I were doing at Port Royal. There's a sudden break in the fighting, and I say to you, you fight like a dairy farmer. You respond with,
So's your mother.
I can see we've got a lot of work to do here. You should have responded with something like, "How appropriate. You fight like a cow." You see, it's razor-sharp wit like that that wins fights. Let's try another. Imagine this. You're trapped up against a wall. My sword just slashed 2 cuts into your face. I say, "Soon you'll be wearing my sword like a shish kebab." You respond with,
I have to say, I've always loved this monkey machine. I don't know what they call, or just the machine, should I say?
How appropriate. You fight like a cow.
"No, no, no! That was the response from the last insult! Doesn't even make sense when used here!" Ah. A correct response to, "Soon you'll be wearing my sword like a shish kebab," would have been something like, "First, you better stop waving it around like a feather duster." See? Razor sharp. Now, I suggest you go out there and learn some insults.
I can't help but feel like I've been ripped off. I'm sure you're feeling something similar.
So that was the introduction to insult sword fighting, which has become pretty famous from this game. It's one of the more well-known aspects, and it does make a return in some form later on in the series. But yes, now we must learn some insults, and more importantly, learn their responses. And to do that, we need to go to the map and catch up with these pirates. I've always found the best spot is this little crossroads here with near the fork. The pirates spawn at random places and in random directions, but they always tend to sort of be around this area or cross this area. I will do the first couple of pirates full length.
Move out of the way or I cuts my way through.
And I will do jump cuts in between each afterwards, and then I will only keep in the fights where I learn new insults or new responses.
Nice night we're having, isn't it?
I sure hopes you had something more important to stop me for.
My name is Guybrush Threepwood. Prepare to die.
So we only know 3. I think that is the insult we learnt from the troll. I'm sure I read up on it. It's saying that if you insult him, he insults you back, and his insult turns up in the list. It's one you learn anyway, but it's nice to have it right from the start.
I once owned a dog that was smarter than you.
I'm shaken, I'm shaken.
And that's bad when he says that. Even though you're winning, you need those responses. And if he wins, he can possibly give you a new insult back.
Soon you'll be wearing my sword like a shish kebab.
I am rubber, you are glue.
Well, so far this is a bad example.
You fight like a dairy farmer.
Oh yeah?
Oh God.
I give up. You win.
Okay, that went badly.
Move out of the way, or I cuts my way through.
Ever notice how all these roads start to look the same?
Now that you mention it, they do. He's probably just that we're tired.
My name is Guybrush Threepwood. Prepare to die.
From now on, I will cut out the intro as well, because that is pretty much it. It's just, my name is Guybrush Threepwood, prepare to die. Each and every time he meets a pirate.
I once owned a dog that was smarter than you.
He must have taught you everything you know. There are no words for how disgusting you are.
There we go.
Oh, yeah?
You make me want to puke.
Even though this is going worse than the last fight, it's going better in terms of that's 2 new insults and 1 new response we've learned.
I am rubber, you are glue. I give up, you win! Oh, you make me want to puke.
Oh yeah?
I once owned a dog that was smarter than you.
I'm shaking, I'm shaking.
Whoops. Wrong one.
There are no words for how disgusting you are.
Yes, there are. You just never learned them. I'm not gonna take your insolence sitting down.
This is just what we need.
I'm shaken. I'm shaken.
Nobody's ever drawn blood from me, and nobody ever will.
I am rubber, you are glue. Where did my sword go? Nobody's ever drawn blood from me, and nobody ever will.
You run that fast? This is the end for you, you gutter-crawling cur.
Nice.
Oh, yeah?
My handkerchief will wipe up your blood.
So, we're learning quite a few insults. Now, if only we could actually use them and get their responses.
I'm shaken. I'm shaken. Uncle! Uncle!
Right, hopefully with this one we'll get a response. The last couple weren't that great.
My handkerchief will wipe up your blood.
So, you got that job as a janitor after all? I've spoken with apes more polite than you.
We're getting some of these insults pretty early on.
I'm shaken. I'm shaken.
Soon you'll be wearing my sword like a shish kebab.
First, you'd better stop weighting it like a feather duster. I'm not gonna take your insolence sitting down.
I am rubber, you are glue.
There are no words for how disgusting you are.
I'm shaking, I'm shaking. Wow, you're good enough to fight the swordmaster.
Well, even though the last one said that I'm good enough to fight the swordmaster, I really do not have enough responses right now. It's going to take a little while longer.
I've spoken with apes more polite than you.
I'm glad to hear you attended your family reunion. My handkerchief will wipe up your blood.
So you got that job as a janitor after all. There are no words for how disgusting you are.
Yes, there are. You just never learn them. I got this scar on my face during a mighty struggle.
I'm shaken. I'm shaken. Yikes, nice move. This is the end for you, you gutter-crawling cur.
And I've got a little tip for you. Get the point? You fight like a dairy farmer.
How appropriate. You fight like a cow.
Just trying to remember which ones I haven't got yet.
Oh, you make me want to puke.
Oh, yeah?
Damn it.
I got this scar on my face during a mighty struggle.
Oh, yeah? Wow! You're good enough to fight the swordmaster.
Oh, you make me want to puke.
You make me think somebody already did. I've heard you were a contemptible sneak.
Nice, another new one.
I am rubber, you are glue.
I got this scar on my face during a mighty struggle.
I am rubber, you are glue. Look behind you! A three-headed monkey! I got this scar on my face during a mighty struggle.
I hope now you've learned to stop picking your nose. You have the manners of a beggar.
I am rubber, you are glue.
Soon you'll be wearing my sword like a shish kebab.
I think we've got most of the insults. It's just some of the replies we need now.
First, you'd better stop waving it like a feather duster. I've heard you were a contemptible sneak.
Too bad no one's ever heard of you at all.
Where did my sword go? You have the manners of a beggar.
I wanted to make sure you'd feel comfortable with me. You have the manners of a beggar.
I just said that one.
I wanted to make sure you'd feel comfortable with me. I'm not gonna take your insolence sitting down.
Oh, yeah?
I've spoken with apes more polite than you.
I'm glad to hear you attended your family reunion. Nobody's ever drawn blood from me, and nobody ever will.
Right, what have we got and what have we got to get? Point. Shish kebab. Blood. Dog. Puke. Boat. No, not boat. Ah, there is one missing, which might come up. Can't even remember what he said. Hold on.
Could you repeat that? I didn't quite get it.
I said, nobody's ever drawn blood from me, and nobody ever will.
You run that fast?
Wow, you're good enough to fight the swordmaster.
I just want to make sure that I'm pretty sure there's one insult missing. I can probably get through without it, but I'm just going to do one more.
I've heard you were a contemptible sneak.
Oh yeah?
I'm not gonna take your insolence sitting down.
Your hemorrhoids are flaring up again, eh? Nobody's ever drawn blood from me, and nobody ever will.
You run that fast? There are no words for how disgusting you are.
Yes, there are. You just never learned them. You're no match for my brains, you poor fool.
Okay, another new one. Maybe a couple of more fights.
I am rubber, you are glue. Where did my sword go?
Right, hopefully this is the last one.
You're no match for my brains, you poor fool.
I'd be in real trouble if you ever used them. Have you stopped wearing diapers yet?
Oh, and another new one. Must have gone for about 6-7 pirates, and they kept saying, I'm shaking, I'm shaking.
I'm shaken. I'm shaken.
I once owned a dog that was smarter than you.
He must have taught you everything you know. I've heard you were a contemptible sneak.
Too bad no one's ever heard of you at all.
Look behind you, a three-headed monkey. Have you stopped wearing diapers yet?
Oh, yeah?
You fight like a dairy farmer.
Oh, yeah?
I got this scar on my face during a mighty struggle.
I hope now you've learned to stop picking your nose. People fall at my feet when they see me coming.
Bloody hell, another new one.
I'm shaken. I'm shaken.
Nobody's ever drawn blood from me, and nobody ever will.
You run that fast?
Wow! You're good enough to fight the swordmaster.
People fall at my feet when they see me coming.
Even before they smell your breath? Me handkerchief will wipe up your blood.
It's got to the point now where it's taken about 10 tries to get one response, and in those 10 tries I found a new one and still not had that response to the other one.
So you got that job as a janitor after all.
I mean, I could go after the swordmaster now. I mean, there's a very good chance I'll do it first time, but I'm trying to see if I can get all the responses.
Have you stopped wearing diapers yet?
Oh, yeah?
And that's the reply I keep getting.
I got this scar on my face during a mighty struggle.
I hope now you've learned to stop picking your nose. I once owned a dog that was smarter than you.
He must have taught you everything you know.
Wow! You're good enough to fight the swordmaster.
Have you stopped wearing diapers yet?
Why? Did you want to borrow one? I've spoken with apes more polite than you.
That's it. That is the last one, I believe.
I'm glad to hear you attended your family reunion. I got this scar on my face during a mighty struggle.
I am rubber, you are glue.
You have the manners of a beggar.
I am rubber, you are glue. Wow, you're good enough to fight the swordmaster.
And I believe he is correct. Right. It's very important to get as many replies as possible. You shall see why momentarily.
How dare you approach the swordmaster with... Oh, it's you again.
Hi, I'm selling these fine leather jackets.
Do you have one in size 3? Of course you don't. Because you're not really a jacket salesman. Let's be honest. You're here to prove yourself to the pirate leaders in hopes of one day being as immoral as they are.
Yep, nailed it right on the head. Gee, you're smart.
I can tell by the sarcastic expression on your face that you've been fully trained by Captain Smirk. Let's get this over with. No one will ever catch me fighting as badly as you do.
So as you can see, her insults are completely different to the pirates. So we have to match it up to the correct response to a different insult. So what did she say? No one will catch me fighting as badly as you do.
You make me think somebody already did.
Wrong.
I usually see people like you passed out on tavern floors.
Even before they smell your breath?
Now I know what filth and stupidity really are.
And as you can see, you can't give her an insult back. It's only her doing the insulting. And what did she say again?
Could you repeat that? I didn't quite get it.
Now I know what filth and stupidity really are.
I'm glad to hear you attended your family reunion.
My tongue is sharper than any sword.
I'd be in real trouble if you ever used them.
Every word you say to me is stupid.
I love how Guybrush's tone changes when he's correct and when he's unsure.
Even before they smell your breath?
My name is feared in every dirty corner of this island.
So you got that job as a janitor after all.
I've got the courage and skill of a master swordsman.
I'd be in real trouble if you ever used them.
There are no clever moves that can help you now.
Why? Did you want to borrow one?
Only once have I met such a coward.
He must have taught you everything you know.
I give up. You win. Well, I hope you're happy. You can go back and brag to all your friends about how you beat the swordmaster. You'll need proof. Here, this should convince them.
So we have another t-shirt. And that is the sword fighting quest completed. I will be cutting it here shortly. And in the next episode, we will be returning to the Scumbar, and we will become pirates, hopefully. But yeah, the sword fighting, I've always loved it. I mean, even when I first played it, I just thought it was absolutely brilliant. Still enjoy it now. I'm really enjoying this game so far. I feel the voice acting's really done really well. The graphics seem to remain sort of truthful to the originals, but with a lot of very good detail as well. It's been quite a nice nostalgia trip so far. But anyway, I will cut this short, and I will see you in episode 5. Thank you for watching. Take care. Bye bye.